Hello and welcome to another episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet and books and sometimes TV or movies or other life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I really hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and let's enjoy a lovely visit. So, today is January 17th, another Monday, and I am excited to share because last week it was a special episode, so I didn't talk about the current reads and I didn't talk about any crafting. So let's show the progress on the shawl for my mom. This is the middle of it, the deepest part. It's not super deep. I'd like it to be a little snugglier and cozier, so I think I'm going to keep going a little longer to get it a little deeper, but not very much. This is really winding down, and let me show you. I'm reaching down here. Sorry. Reaching down here for the end. This is all I have left of the second cake of yarn. Not much at all. So I am going to break into the third cake a little bit. Just because I want it to be really snuggly and cozy. So I want it a little extra deep. And so I'm glad I did get that third cake. I'll use a little bit of it. But this yarn is from Premier Yarns, the coffee shop base, and I love that name. Very appropriate name for a yarn that I would like. And the color way is turquoise. And this is really soft. It is mostly acrylic, 85% acrylic, but a nice and soft acrylic, and 5% wool. So it is very easy care, very just throw in the washing machine, which is what Mom needs. And this is really squishy. And it knits up really squishy and soft. I think she will really be cuddly warm when she wears it. And these are her favorite colors. That's why I chose this colorway. She loves teal and turquoise. And I'm excited to be able to give it to her. So that is the shawl. And now for the reading. The reading has been going really well. Let's talk first about the book that I finished last night. I finished Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis last night. It is the second book in her Numina series, and it's a sci-fi series, and the first one is the first contact, and then the story continues from there. But aliens appear on Earth, and it is I really enjoyed the second. Well, enjoy, yes and no. it was engaging, and yeah, it deals pretty heavily with mental health, and it's kind of a bit emotionally intense, and the themes are a little bit dark. It goes more into the political situation with the reveal of aliens on Earth to the public, and the political and government response to that being public. And so it really yeah, it's more emotionally intense than the first book for me, and it feels a bit darker. There's less of that snarky humor to lighten, and it also goes deeper into the characters, the human characters that we knew, plus one important new one, and then it goes deeper into the amygdalin characters and their plight, and it's very tense, and it's definitely keeps you moving. But the first one did too. I think the pacing is maybe about the same, because yeah, I think the pacing might be about the same. And in the end really packs a punch. And I thought it was, I think, an appropriate ending. And it definitely packs a punch, and yeah. So that was Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis, and I have still been making progress. I am approaching the finish for both Wide Sargasso Sea by Jane Rice, or Rice, I'm not totally sure how to pronounce that, and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And as I've said before, because I've been doing this project for a little bit, this is a response to Jane Eyre. And Wide Sargasso Sea goes into a character that is in the back, a plot. Basically, in Jane Eyre, this character is a plot device. She does not get a lot of time on the page, but in Wide Sargasso Sea, it is her story, and we learn her whole background and follow her story and her point of view. Yeah, most of her whole life. So I have really loved reading these books together, and I have started tabbing. I have really enjoyed tabbing in these books, important scenes or places where the prose is just really, really wonderful. There's a description of something I want to remember, or a quote, or a theme. And I've been doing that with both of the books. That has also enhanced my reading experience. And aren't these tabs the cutest? These are the cat face tabs that I got before Christmas when I did that kind of holiday shopping outing day with a friend, and we went to the bookstore and the coffee shop and window shopping other places. She found them. She brought them to me. She said, "Look at these, Cheryl." And I'm like, "Oh, I need those." And it was just at the right time because I had just started reading these books again, and I just was like, I really need to tab, and they were right there, and I started tabbing, and yeah, it's been great. These are two excellent books, and I've already been talking a lot about how I feel about the books. Not much has changed. So I think I'll have more to say when I'm actually done. Because I don't want to bore you repeating again and again, and I've already repeated a couple times. Yes, I still hate Rochester. Let's leave it at that, and then I will go. Hopefully I'll have something more interesting to say when I have actually finished. Hopefully this coming week, because I'm really getting close. I'm like 93% or 94% through this one, and I'm like 80 some percent, about 80% through this. So hopefully next time I make a video, they will be finished, I hope. And then maybe I'll have something less repetitive and more interesting to say as a final reflection on these books. I also am preparing to start a buddy read, and I am excited about this. This is a book that intimidates me. I bought it, I don't know, 5 or 7 years ago because I heard about it and it sounded really like a challenge, and it also sounded really intriguing and like a puzzle, and I just piqued my interest so much. So I bought it those years ago, and I did not very long after actually try to start reading it. I read the prologue or the introduction, and then I read maybe part of the first chapter. I'm not sure how far I got into the first chapter, but that was as far as I got, and I put it down and left it, and it's been sitting and taunting me ever since. But I have not given up the idea of coming back to it, but I have been really intimidated because it is a very challenging book. And this is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. I probably didn't pronounce his last name right, and I apologize. But yeah. You may have heard of this book also. It is a little bit infamous, and a lot of people really love it. A lot of people are irritated by it, and the people who say it's a gimmick and just there is a gimmick to it. I will not deny that. But sometimes I'm a sucker for a good gimmick. That doesn't always... I don't mind a good gimmick, actually. And it feels like a puzzle. And I like the challenge of a puzzle, but yeah. The formatting of this book is really interesting. There are so many footnotes, and there are pages with just one word on a page. And there are boxes of text. And sometimes you need to hold a mirror to read the text because it is printed mirrored. So sometimes you need a mirror. There are footnotes and footnotes, and it is a challenge. And the introduction is, and then there are a whole bunch of other sections of the book that are from Johnny, a character named Johnny, who found a notebook. And the main text is the notebook, the text from the notebook that Johnny found. The notebook was written by Zampano. And Zampano, in the notebook, he was making a transcript and also describing a video that he saw of a film, but there's really no record of the film and nobody knows where that film went. So there's this mysterious film that's missing, but Zampano saw it and wrote transcriptions and descriptions in his notebook. Johnny found the notebook. So you have the main text of the notebook, you have Johnny interrupting and Johnny adding things, and you have so many footnotes. I think a lot of the footnotes are from Zampano. I don't know if Johnny made any footnotes, but in his journal, Zampano used extensive footnotes as he was studying and making notes on the missing film. This missing film is about a family that moves into a house and has very strange and mysterious experiences in the house. And the film documents the strange features of the house and some of the strange events that happened with the family in that house. So this is a little bit on the horror side, and it's also kind of just experimental with it is written in a very experimental way with all the different characters, and the formatting is just, it's told in a very experimental structure. So that is House of Leaves. So I will be using more of the cat face tabs while I do this buddy read. I also have a slim notebook that I am going to use to make notes as I read. And hopefully this time, my buddy reader and I will get through this book together, and I think there will definitely be lots to talk about. So we will have we will be able to share our reactions with each other and maybe share theories when we're confused. It's going to be a ride. It is, I think this book is definitely going to be a ride. We agreed to start on Thursday, this coming up Thursday. So, yeah, that is going to be exciting. I don't know how long it's going to take. I am not a real fast reader, and I think the challenge of this is going to slow me down just even that bit more, but also maybe having a buddy reader will push me to push myself to go a little faster. We'll just see what happens. I really don't know. Yeah. So, there are also a couple books that just came in from my hold requests in my Libby app from my library. So, since I'm going to be finishing these two, the Bronte and the Wide Sargasso Sea Read, I will be also starting one or maybe two of those library holds that came in. So I'm not sure which. I have one I might just send back. I think I have 3 that I could start, and we'll see which one or which 2 I end up actually starting. So that's the reading. And yeah, I hope that your 2022 of reading has started well. Have you finished your first 2022 book yet? And if you have finished your first completed 2022 read, what was your first book of 2022? I'd love to hear it in the comments down below. Or if you are doing knitting or other crafting or other creative projects, I'd love to hear what you're working on in your creative life. And take care. I hope that you and your family and all of your loved ones are well and safe, and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.